This is American Dreams, a program where we interview thought leaders and entrepreneurs and bring their ideas to you in real-world context.
I'm visiting here today with Nick Gillitt. Nick, welcome to today's program.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So, Nick, for the listeners, can you give us a quick narrative of your pathway in life and what brought us up to where we are today?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey for me. I'm a scientist, PhD in chemistry. I did that back in the UK. Got my degrees there, and then I decided after I did my PhD that I'd like to go to a nice, warm, sunny country. So I picked the US, and I decided I'm going to head out to some universities out there. So I applied to quite a few, and I got a wonderful offer from UC Santa Barbara to work with a Professor Bunton out there on detoxifying chemical weapons, which I thought was very exciting. A lot of chemistry involved, very interesting, and it happened to be in Southern California, which was kind of nice.
Can't go wrong with that.
You cannot go wrong with that. I knew within an hour that I wasn't leaving.
Beautiful area.
Yes.
Area. So on a day-to-day basis, what is your life like?
So recent job change, working for Berkeley RD now, and this with the pandemic, there's a decentralization going on with companies. So I'm actually located in an area just outside of Charlotte with a bunch of universities, and I'm looking at how human health and nutrition can help us live longer, get longevity, be healthier. So I wake up thinking about that. I go to work, I talk to scientists, I look at all the different research that's going on in the world, and I try to think of how we can come to a commercialization idea with the knowledge that's out there. And that's what gets me going. And then I try to make it happen with the company I'm with.
There's a lot of development in that area right now.
There is.
And a lot of different forks in the road of
Yes.
Philosophies. But what do you gravitate towards of what the society and the world needs now to solve that problem of longevity?
It's an interesting one because you give anybody the option of having a longer life and they will snap your hand off to take it, right? And that's what we all want to do. We want to live a long time. We also want to be healthy while we're living. It's not really much fun being unhealthy when you're getting older. So I want us to be able to think about how we can be healthier longer. And I think that happens with giving the body everything it needs. The body's very good at looking after itself. Our DNA is a blueprint of what we do, and it's got protective mechanisms and things that keep us healthy. And what we have to do is make sure that we give it everything it needs. So the biggest problem, I think, in modern society today is people experience gaps in their nutrition. And that's harmful, especially if it's over long periods of time. So I try to look at what those gaps are, and they are different for different people in different lifestyles. And then try to think about how we could fill that gap with something that actually works and makes a difference in that gap. And if you can fill those gaps, you're giving your body the best potential it can have to live as long as it can handle with your DNA. And that's where we want to be. We want to live as long as we are able to.
So based on what you see today, are we starting to live longer?
We are starting to live longer. You look at the progression of average age of death and it's creeping up. Where's it going to end up? I don't know. Somebody asked me a few years ago, do I think the first person who's ever going to live to 140 has been born yet? And I think possibly. We're going to have to wait 140 years to find out, right? So it's not something we actually know is going to happen. But if you eat properly from day one, you exercise, you avoid the sun, smoking, that kind of stuff, things that are harmful, your body's really, really nicely set up to live a long time. And I think we're going to start to get there. So it's going to keep rising for quite a while. And then you'll have, medical discoveries and things like that, new drugs which can help as well. Penicillin was in a massive uptick in people's age, right? So we're going to get there.
So, Nick, as a researcher, are you involved in any life science companies or startups, or do you work mainly with the government?
So in my former life, I worked for Dole Food Company for many, many years. I ran the Dole Nutrition Institute, which is a research and educational part for Dole Food Company. And then I ended up being on the board for Berkeley, which is the company I'm with now. And I interact with lots of companies that they come to the research campus where I work, and they're looking for people who can help them show that their products work. And it could be a supplement company, it could be a dietary company, it could be anything. And we're really the practical end of showing how science works. So those companies They hear a good scientist, they think, oh, we want him on our board, or we want to interact with him, or can he be a consultant on the project, and all that kind of stuff. So many different things, so many different projects, makes it really interesting.
How would a person reach you, Nick, if they said, I got to talk to Nick? And
Yeah, you can look me up. You can find me anywhere on the internet because my name is out there with all the publications I've had. Nick Gillitt. Berkeley ID can be searched. We've got a website, that kind of thing.
Okay. Nick, I appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you.